Hey guys, I thought I would share with you an interesting tool I use. It marries my antique dealing and my writing together so perfectly. And I got the idea from this really interesting book called Creativity. It has to do with taking two things that just don't make sense and building a story out of them. So I present to you my idea cabinet. My idea cabinet has a bunch of little drawers, and what's inside these drawers? Well, let's pick one. Which one should I pick? Which one should I pick? I think I'll pick this one. Okay, as you can see, the drawer is filled to the brim with random stuff. Now, I find all of this stuff while I'm doing my antique dealing. I really am a huge fan of tiny metal things, and I don't know why. I think it's the, I don't know, golden calf worshiper in me or something like that. But whenever I find them, I buy them, and then I keep them and hoard them inside this cabinet because they give me really interesting ideas. So an example, this is a flag top made of brass. It's an eagle. This is a cherub from an old Italian lamp that I accidentally broke, and so I took it apart, had all the pieces. And then of course there's all these old slides. For those of you too young to remember what the heck these are, a long time ago in a land far, far boring, there used to be this amazing machine called the slide projector. And then whenever your aunt and uncle would return from their trip to Minnesota, they would pull out the slide projector, sit you down, put some licorice in your lap and say, watch. And they would click this thing, and there was this big reel that would turn that had all these in a little carousel, and it would show each one of these little slides. And they would say, now, here's our trip to the Mall of America, which is absolutely big. We lost our car there, don't you know? And then they would go through, and you would be so bored to tears. They have a modern version of that now. It's called Facebook, but it's an opt-in, opt-out. Isn't technology just wonderful? I actually love old slide reels, and so if you really look close, this is a negative of a picture. And this one happens to be a painting by Michelangelo. My art history class taught me anything. This is Michelangelo. And it is a very strong guy looking extremely upset wearing a turban, now that I think about it. Maybe that's not Michelangelo. What else do we have in here? We have these awesome little word dice, which I don't remember where I picked them up, but you can still buy them. If I remember, there's something like story dice. They just have interesting words. So here's a word, ouch, and his. And then I have other cool things like a little kitty cat with its baby, a strange pen from the 1970s of a lady, a decision maker. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. So much fun. Ooh, an Indian head nickel. Cool. Those are old. From the year, I don't even know, 1927. Wow, most of us weren't even alive in 1927. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'll do it with a different drawer since I kind of pulled stuff out and showed you. So let's say I wanted to write a short story. This wants to be part of our story apparently because it wouldn't go back in. What I might do is I might grab one object from one drawer and then grab a different object from another drawer. So we have this angel, I guess it's like a little cherub girl, and then we have this clear plastic dog. What can we do with two disparate things like this? I mean, this is kind of an antique piece. It's older. It represents the Renaissance style in Italy, and this is kind of a kitsch 1960s Snoopy-like, post-plastic era doggy. They're two completely different things, but I can take what they are, an angel and a dog, and I could say angel dog. Oh my gosh, picture book idea, angel dog. The angel dog that goes around and rescues people from peeing on evil fire hydrants. Oh my gosh, short story. Good short story, right? Not really. So I might go and get a third element. So yeah, I looked, so I gotta check a different thing. What is this? What is this? Really don't know what I'm gonna pull out, honestly. Okay, we've got a cat, and it's like an antique wind-up cat, and it's missing the winding key. We got a cat, a dog, and an angel. So what can we make out of that? It's almost too easy, right? Cat, dog, and angel. Obviously, Tom and Jerry fight, right? And then Jerry finally kills Tom. Wait a minute, that's a mouse and a cat. Okay, scratch that. A kitty's best friend is a dog that got hit by a car and turned into an angel, and now the dog watches over the kitty, makes his life better. See, that's a really cute chapter book idea. I mean, it's sad, but children's chapter books are mostly always sad, and always the dog dies in every single one, and so we have to keep that theme or else we'll be stricken from the children's writers Club of America. There are rules to these things, and we must keep these rules. So that's one idea. Let's do a totally different one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I shouldn't look before. I got, okay, a dice that has a word on it. Ooh, a bowling dude. Okay, a slide. So I got a slide of a log cabin. I've got a bowling dude, and I'm gonna roll the dice, and it says my. Totally serious. The setting is 1921, and a young boy's father sells everything to start a bowling alley in a log cabin on the mountains. And we call it My Crazy Dad Started a Bowling Alley in a Cabin in the Mountains. Now you laugh, because that seems like kind of a really sucky idea, but I could totally see it being like Cold Sassy Tree, which is a really good book, by the way, Cold Sassy Tree. Not totally popular these days, but super good book. So there's another idea. Let's do one more. Put away these things. What will we find? What will we find? Ooh, it's an owl soapdish. Okay, what is that? Ah, a cat bell with one missing eye. Cat, owl, sounds too easy. Oh, another cat. Apparently, I have a lot of cats. So a cat, a bell, and an owl. All right, cat and owl, creatures of the night. They go out and they play around with each other, and when the bell rings, like the morning bell, then they turn into people. Whoa, they turn into people because they're really two people. But at night, since they're nocturnal, they turn into the owl and the cat, and they have different capabilities. Like the owl can fly, obviously, but the cat has amazing eyesight or something. Now, here's the point of this exercise. It's those three ideas that I gave you. They might not sound all that interesting, but think about it. What if I pulled out a pig in one of those plastic spiders, and I thought, a spider decides to save a pig from being slaughtered by making messages in her web. It sounds like the most worst ever idea for a book, and yet it is literally one of the best children's books ever written. E.B. White, thank you very much for making me like spiders for 5 seconds. I actually like Charlotte, you know, the spider in the cartoon. What if I had pulled out a little chocolate wrapper and a little golden ticket? Then I would have thought up Harry Potter, right? No. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Pay attention. Taking things that don't seem to go together and then kind of tricking your brain into figuring out what they mean actually makes you come up with really interesting and creative ideas, because what you're trying to do here, you know, when you're first thinking of a story, you think of the most cliche thing you can possibly imagine. For instance, a princess doesn't want to be a princess, and so she decides that she's going to go on an adventure. She doesn't want to marry the prince, and all the while she meets the stable lad who becomes a prince and something something. We've heard this one, right? Or the boy that has secret special powers that nobody knows about, and then he goes into this world where everybody figures out he has special powers and he's persecuted, and then eventually kills the evil overlord. That's like the plot for almost every book ever written, and I'm not kidding. Thinking outside the box is really important, because your first couple of story ideas will always be cliche and bad. And not to say that that's terrible, but thinking of things in a different way is always very helpful. I can't help it. I want to do one more before I turn off the camera. Put these guys aside. All right. Oh, Howdy Doody lunchbox, a dice, and a pumpkin. Whoa. You don't have to pick out 3 things. You can just pick out 2. But isn't this cute? It's got a little baby thermos. Okay, Howdy Doody. So I see a ventriloquist dummy there. Everybody knows those are creepy. Also a clown, and then an Indian? That's not really fair to the Native Americans to have a clown and a ventriloquist dummy as friends, because I think that might be, you know, a little wrong. I did attend the SCBWI conference on diversity in children's fiction, so I would know. That's kind of racist. All right, so here we are. We're going to roll the die. Costume ventriloquist dummy, pumpkin. All right, here it is. Costume and pumpkin. Obviously Halloween. Ventriloquist dummy. Somebody dresses up as a ventriloquist dummy, and their friends don't really realize that it was really not their friend dressing up as the ventriloquist dummy, but the ventriloquist dummy dressing up as their friend. boom. And of course it's evil, because you can't be an ventriloquist dummy and be good. That was like way 1940s. You have to be evil, you know. So that would be a really awesome short story, or a really scary short story that I could write, or you could write, anybody could write. And I came up with the idea in literally 2 minutes. So I encourage you to hoard weird stuff and get a nice little cabinet and close your eyes. Another way to do this that isn't as expensive is you can ask somebody for their old magazines, and you can cut out pictures of the ads in different words and stuff and put it in a box. That would be a free way to do this. I've been working on my idea cabinet for probably 10 years now. At first it was in a big treasure chest, but then when the treasure chest got too small, because it shrunk, not because I got more stuff. Treasure chest, it's its fault, not mine. Then I had to get another cabinet. I use this all the time. It's a lot of fun, and it helps me generate some interesting ideas. By the way, this is a technique used by Ray Bradbury. Not only Ray Bradbury, but many others. Ray Bradbury, by the way, if you haven't heard of him, he's one of the best speculative fiction authors in the last 100 years. Look him up. He did a really great one called The Illustrated Man. He, of course, wrote Fahrenheit 451, which you will probably be required to read when you're in 8th grade. He was a master, and he used to take words all the time, and he used to combine different words. He would write long lists of things he was afraid of, and he would write long nouns and verbs and adjectives describing those things, and then he would randomly pick two, and that's how he would make his stories. And when he got the idea for Fahrenheit 451, which is a book about a future where it's illegal to own a book, and so firemen don't put out fires, they start them by burning the books. He had, I think the two words that he had was fire and library, if I remember right. And that's where he came up with the idea, and he wrote the book in like, I don't know, it was like 45 days or something. It was really short. This is a fun technique. I hope you're able to use it. As always, please subscribe if you found this useful. Also, you can visit my website, ericavictor.com with 2 Ks, Erica Victor. And there's the blog there, and I blog about weird stuff. So thank you, everybody. Bye.